Unfortunately, when people think of outbound marketing, they think it's really expensive, it's old, it's out of date, or it's only for the bigger companies. And that can all be true, but today I'm going to show you how outbound marketing can be relevant and effective and cost efficient for your small business. If you are new to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you can get notified every time we release new content. I am Amy Walker, Client Acquisition Specialist. My job is to help you find the simplest path to consistently acquiring your dream client. Last year, I went and spent a couple of days working with one of my clients who is an orthodontist. And great office, they spend a lot of money on their marketing, they're doing all the things that they should be doing. And as we sat down and went through their reports, their most effective marketing they were doing was a mouthguard program. So they were going out to the local hockey teams and they were creating custom mouthguards for their players. And when they found out how much it cost them to create the mouthguard versus how many people came in and signed up for getting braces from them, it was their most cost-effective and highest return on investment. So outbound marketing does not have to be always expensive. It doesn't always have to involve a big ad agency. A lot of times you can be really creative about how do I get my product or service out in front of my ideal client. And I'm going to share with you some great ideas and strategies that you can use today. So question for you, would you like to employ some of the same strategies that big businesses are using, but with your small business budget? If so, go ahead and type yes in the comments. Businesses should be spending on marketing. In fact, most business owners should be spending somewhere between 7 to 15% of their total revenues on their marketing budget. That number can fluctuate depending on the industry, but it's a pretty good rule of thumb. But here's the problem. As a small business owner, 7 to 10% is not a lot, and it can get eaten up really quickly. One industry event where you're going to be a sponsor can be $10,000 to $15,000. That could be your entire budget eaten up all at once. And so for us to be able to do outbound marketing, we need to be really strategic. We need to understand how to make it work for us, and we need to balance out our budget so that we don't put all of our money into one thing and then find ourselves crying in our Cocoa Puffs because it didn't even work. So first, let's define outbound marketing. Outbound marketing is where you are taking your message and you are getting it into the hands of your ideal clients, versus inbound marketing where you're putting information out there to attract in clients. You're pushing your message out to potential buyers. So here's what this could look like. It could be direct mail. It could be advertising on TV or on radio. It could be print advertising. It could be trade shows or sponsoring events. It could also be prospecting and cold calling, or warm calling because you acquired the leads through inbound marketing and now your team is calling them, which is the best way to do it. My first tip that I have for you is to create quality campaigns over quantity of campaigns. Sometimes I see people get real excited about marketing, and so they're like, we're gonna do this event, and we're gonna do this event, and we're gonna do this event, and they never had a solid conversion strategy on any of them. And so they feel like they're constantly putting out so much energy and time and money, and it's not producing the results that they want. I would much rather have you create one thing that you make work really, really well than have 5 things that are wishy-washy in results. One of my favorite books to help you with this is called How to Get a Meeting with Anyone by Stu Heineck. It is full of creative strategies for how you can use outbound reach outs in order to get meetings with your dream clients, and it is probably my favorite marketing book of the last 5 years. So let's go through some examples of what big businesses are doing and then what's the small business version of it. So first, let's talk about prospecting. So you can do some crazy things these days with data scraping. There are companies that can go through and can grab massive amounts of data and provide you with this very detailed list and so much information that you're like, how is that even legal to get that information? But they can do it for you. And then you have everything you need for your ideal clients to go out there and start prospecting and having those sales conversations. It costs a lot, and it might not be effective for every small business. So there's a couple of other options for you. One is purchasing a list that's maybe a smaller list where you don't have all of the details, but you have, names, emails, mailing addresses, and you can put something together there. The other, and my favorite, is using LinkedIn Sales Navigator to prospect. So it is the largest professional database, and they let you search it, and they let you put in your search terms for what industry you want, what position you want, how many years in business, how many employees they have, where they're located. It's a beautiful tool, and it's only less than $90 a month to be able to help you be successful in your prospecting. Do you already use Sales Navigator? If so, let me know in the comments. Just type yes. Next, let's look at direct mail for big business versus small business. So for big business, you would be putting together a direct mail campaign with a direct mail agency. You would be working on creatives, you'd be working with a copywriter, and you would be blasting out to thousands and thousands of people. By the way, when you do those types of campaigns, a 1 to 3% return rate is considered a huge success. So now let's look at the small business strategy. You can use a tool like bannerseason.com, and I'll put a link to that down below. But Banner Season is a great tool where you could use prospecting to get a smaller targeted list and then send out things like brownies with your logo on it, or customized cards or customized gifts. And so you're not looking at the volume that you would be using in a traditional direct mail. You're looking at creating more of a contact campaign and trying to create a wow factor so that when you reach out for that follow-up, they are excited to take your call. Next, let's talk about trade shows. So big industry trade shows, sometimes those vendor booth opportunities or sponsorship opportunities can range between easily $10,000 to $100,000. So what's the small business version? It's smaller trade shows. It's finding maybe a group where you're going to have 30 to 50 people that are your ideal client, a lower sponsorship fee, but more engagement. So you get to actually interact and communicate. Maybe that looks like going to the local realtor's office if you're a mortgage broker and bringing in cookies to their weekly meeting and getting a chance to mix and mingle and find out who's looking for a new relationship with a new mortgage broker. So you don't always need the big business in order to create big results. Sometimes you need a smaller show with more intimacy and more connection in order to be successful. Next, let's talk about advertising. So big business is using TV, they're creating commercials, they're running ads on the radio, and they're spending a lot of money in order to produce all of that. Now let's talk about the small business version. You could create a really great content piece using a videographer, or maybe just doing it on your own, or even using something like Bonbon to create a customized video that is specific for the ideal client that you want to reach, and then send them the video that you made them. I have personally had this tactic used on me, and let me just tell you, it's impressive. I had someone reach out to me and say, hey, I came across your YouTube channel, I watched this video, I love your content, I was looking at your channel and I've got some recommendations for how you can increase your views. Could I send you a video on what I'm seeing? And I was like, okay. By the way, the whole time he's sending me this video, he's got a picture up on the back of his computer screen, and it's my YouTube channel. It was super impressive. It was basically free to do. It was a very informal style of video, but it created big return. So advertising, you can create those, big budget commercials and TV ads, or you can create small budget, really effective, really customized messages to exactly who you want to reach, and then send them to them. And I promise you, it's going to catch their attention. Now let's talk about paid advertising. So the bigger companies, you guys, they are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising. And we fortunately have cost-controlled advertising right at our fingertips. Things like Facebook ads and pay-per-click ads, where you get to set your daily budgets and you can scale up as you see that they're working. It's a really great way for small business owners to dip their toe into paid advertising without having to have that massive ads budget. So let's review. Outbound marketing is taking your sales messaging and your marketing message and pushing it out into the hands of your ideal clients. There are budget-friendly ways to use these strategies. So all the things that the big companies are doing, you can do as a small business owner. You're just going to be doing them with a little bit of a tweak. We are going to be looking at creating quality campaigns over having a lot of different campaigns. And we've given you some really great resources to use. LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Banner Season, the book, How to Get a Meeting with Anyone. And we've talked a little bit about how you can control your ad spend dollars. So if this has been insightful for you and you're really serious about getting your sales and marketing working more efficiently, I would love to offer you my favorite resource. It's my Sales and Marketing Scorecard. It's an opportunity for you to take an assessment, receive a score. You'll be able to see if your business ranks in dysfunction, in developing, or in a dynamic sales and marketing system. And then you'll also get an improvement plan that will tell you how to expand and grow your sales and marketing dependent on what your score is. And the link for that is just down below. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And I would love for you to join me in my private Facebook group, Acquire, where you can come and get connected with other like-minded entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting the channel, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day.